Sony buying Crunchyroll episode 3. I've already made 2 videos about Sony and Crunchyroll, and you guessed that as long as this matter is running, I will continue to cover it. And this month, we had another twist on this matter. Last week, the Department of Justice extended the examination of the deal. The organization is investigating to see if the antitrust laws are infringed, and as you can expect, many people saw the hope of a cancellation of the deal. But unfortunately, the deal is still pending. For the moment, nothing ensures that Sony and at&t will be stopped, and they even prepare a strong defense to seal the deal. If you wanna understand why the Doge extended the investigation, you are in the right video. I will explain what's going on and I will answer to your question: will the acquisition of Crunchyroll will be cancelled? And you will see that the outcome of this deal is lying on what is Crunchyroll for you. For those who missed the story, here's a recap of the previous episodes. Telecom company at&t acquired the media group Warner for $85 billion in 2018. To refund the debt, the fund wanted to sell some assets, and Crunchyroll was one of them. At the end of the bid auction, Sony paid almost $1 billion to seal the deal. Crunchyroll would be absorbed in Funimation alongside French Wakanim and Australian Anime Lab. Without any surprise, anime fans coldly welcomed the news, because for several years, Sony got a solid poor reputation in the community, mostly because of on-screen and translation censorships. So seeing the firm getting more power on a bill of media outraged most people. But their anger is not coming from nowhere. Historically, Crunchyroll and Funimation were the 2 biggest simulcast companies around. With the absorption of Crunchyroll by Funimation, Sony would hold a near monopoly of the US anime distribution. Monopolies are feared for many reasons, because when you have no serious competition, you can use unfair practice against customers and challengers, like fixing high prices for low quality services. To avoid this situation, the US government set rules between companies, or infamous antitrust laws, and there are 2 organizations to enforce them: the Federal Trade Commission and the Department of Justice. Their main goal is to watch out if businesses competed fair conditions, and when they have any suspicion, they investigate. And this is what they did with at&t and Sony. When Sony wanted to acquire Crunchyroll, you guessed that the companies didn't just sign a form. They had to submit the deal to the FTC or the Doge for review first. Then the Doge investigated to locate any potential frauds, and if there was no problem, Sony could buy Crunchyroll in 30 days. But this is not what happened, because the Doge needed more information about the deal, so the organization asked at&t and Sony to provide them. Once they complied with the demand, they waited 30 more days, but at&t, Sony and the Doge agreed to extend the review duration to avoid any litigation, because at the end of the review, the department has 3 choices. Either the case will be closed and the deal approved, or the deal must be modified to comply with the Doge request, or the department will sue both companies and cancel the entire deal. So this was a short sum up of what the department did with Sony and at&t. So yeah, the department didn't block Sony and at&t, at least it didn't do it alone. I explained all the facts we know for the moment, the story of the deal and the antitrust review. But if you're still here, I know you're only waiting for only one thing. I will say it right to you. I cannot give you a straight answer to it, because all this matter relies on one point: who are in the anime market, and you will understand what I mean later. But for the moment, by buying Crunchyroll, Sony will increase its shares on the anime streaming service market. But you can ask, how much will this event affect it afterward? To determine that, the Doge uses a number called the Herfindahl-Hirschman index. This number is used to tell if a market tends to a monopoly or not. If you have a result close to 0, you almost have a perfect competition, with a lot of opponents with tiny shares. But if you have a result close to 10,000, you have unfair competition, with few opponents with massive shares. This number is used by the Doge because of its simplicity. You only need to know all the companies of a market and their shares to calculate it. For strictly defined markets, you can use this index to figure out what's going on. But for not so well defined markets, this simplicity becomes its limits, because which company do you put into the calculation? And to answer this question, you need to answer another one. What are Crunchyroll and Funimation? And according to the answers, you can see 2 sides. For most people, Crunchyroll and Funimation are simulcast platforms. They are using it to watch the new anime several hours after Japanese airing. In that case, we can put Crunchyroll, Funimation, Sentai and HIDIVE on the calculation. And you can see that if the 2 first companies merged, the index would explode. So it would become a clear monopoly, and the deal will be cancelled. But for others, including Sony and at&t, Crunchyroll and Funimation are streaming platforms. They offer plenty of in-demand shows you can watch, and not only anime. Having the latest episode of the hottest anime is then an additional feature. In this configuration, the competition is way more broader, because you have the giants Netflix and Amazon, and both of them are investing in anime last years. With them around, Crunchyroll and other companies wouldn't be in strong position, so the final index would be lower, meaning that a merge wouldn't affect the market so much. So the deal will make a great step toward approval. This is at least the scenario at&t and Sony expect, because if the deal doesn't go through, both companies will be in trouble. at&t will have to find another acquirer for Crunchyroll, because the firm has the debt of $140 billion to refund, so at&t won't mind keeping Crunchyroll. Sure, the company still makes profits, but far less than HBO Max. And for Sony, the cancellation of the deal would just slow down their strategy, because the firm already has a production chain to turn anime into gold mines. Crunchyroll would have been the cherry on the cake. And you can guess that Sony is not against pulling it, to show that they achieved their goal of dominating the industry. So, will the deal between Funimation and Crunchyroll be cancelled? I don't know. And so does everyone, even those who think it will. But I hope I gave you enough information to make your own opinion. Do you use Crunchyroll to watch the latest episodes, or do you use it to watch every anime you can? From your answer lies the future of the anime distribution. And since you will likely answer yes to both, this future is unpredictable, yet exciting. That's why I love to cover it. And be sure that if there is another twist on this matter, you will find me around. But for the moment, if you wanna know more about this crazy industry, you can watch the suggested video on the left. And to not miss any new elements on this matter, you can click on the right to subscribe to the channel to not miss new anime business content. And don't forget, anime is an art, but also a business. À la prochaine les filles.